Broadcasting live from the Meridics v. OBS Studio Broadcast Center at Centennial Sportsplex. This is GNASH Hockey on the Middle Tennessee Sports Network. And we hope that your holidays were merry and bright, that the new year has gotten off to a good start for you, and that you are ready to settle in for the beginning of the end of the 2025-2026 GNASH regular season. 30 games left. 7 of them being played tonight, a season high for the amount of games in a single day. And we got a split rink doubleheader for you here at Centennial. First up, Montgomery Bell taking on Page Summit. And then in the nightcap, it's Franklin taking on Ravenwood. As we are beginning to get to the end, the finish line just about in sight. And yeah, we're getting there. All right. Going to have to hurry up, go through the final scores from the last week of play, which was the week before Christmas. Got to go back to December 15th. Brentwood BAUSN and the Tennessee Outlaws finished in a 4-4 tie. Franklin beat Ensworth Lipscomb CPA 3-1. Independent Centennial beat the Rutherford Rampage 7-0. Ravenwood beat Nolensville 4-3. Hendersonville, Page Summit beat Mount Juliet Wilson Central Lebanon 4-3, and Hendersonville Beach Lawson beat Montgomery Bell 4-1. On Wednesday, December 17th, a big result. Brentwood BAUSN, their first win of the season, beating Station Camp Liberty Creek Nashville Christian 2-1. Nolensville beat the Clarksville Kings 6-2. And in the last game before the holiday break, December 18th, Ensworth Lipscomb CPA beat the Clarksville Kings 4-0. So here are the standings coming into the first day of play in 2026. Ravenwood leading with a record of 8-2-1. Station Camp Liberty Creek Nashville Christian in second at 8-3-0. Franklin and Page Summit both 7-2-2. Hendersonville Beach Lawson 7-3-1. Father Ryan 7-4-0. MBA 6-3-2. Nolensville 6-4-2. Ensworth Lipscomb CPA 6-1. Independent Centennial 4-5-2. JP2 MLK GCS 3-5-2. The Tennessee Outlaws 3-6-2. The Kings and Mount Juliet both 3-9-0. Brentwood BAUSN 1-9-2. The Rutherford Rampage 1-10-1. Mount Juliet, Clarksville, Brentwood, and the Rampage all heading for the Hine Cup, while the Outlaws plus those four mentioned teams plus the Outlaws have all been eliminated from contention for the GNASH Cup regular season championship. Here is tonight's schedule. They've changed the games here at Centennial. The 3 games that were supposed to be played on A are over on B, and the game that was supposed to be played, the Franklin Ravenwood game, has been moved over to A. So coming up here in a few minutes on Rink B at Centennial, MBA taking on Page Summit. 6:30 here on Rink B at Centennial, Station Camp Liberty Creek Nashville Christian taking on JB2 MLK GCS. 6:30 down in Bellevue in the Terry Crisp Rink, Father Ryan taking on the Tennessee Outlaws. 7 o'clock at Ford Ice Center in Clarksville. Hendersonville Beach Lawson taking on the Kings. It is senior night for Clarksville. It'll be a quick ceremony. They've only got 2 seniors. 7:40 over on Rink A here at Centennial. Franklin against Ravenwood. That's the second game in our doubleheader. 7:35 pregame for a 7:40 faceoff. 8:15 here on Rink B at Centennial. Mount Juliet Wilson Central Lebanon taking on the Rampage. And at 8:15 down in Bellevue in the Crisp Rink, Independent Centennial taking on Ensworth Lipscomb CPA. Here are the scenarios for tonight. The Outlaws will end up with a Hine Cup spot if they lose to Father Ryan and Ensworth beat Indy. JP2 and Indy will be eliminated from contention for the GNASH Cup if JP2 lose to Station Camp. Or if JP2 beats Station Camp, then a Ravenwood win over Franklin would knock those 2 teams out. Indy would still be eliminated if they lost to Ensworth and Ravenwood beat Franklin. All right, let's talk about the 2 teams playing the first game of our doubleheader this evening. Montgomery Bell, coached by Max Wutzke. Just the 3rd time we've seen in this season. We haven't done an NBA game since October. We look over the results of their last 5 games coming into tonight. Dating back to November 10th when they beat the Rampage 9-2. 3-3 tie with Nolensville on November 17th. 13-3 win over JP2 on December 1st. 8-0 win over Clarksville on December 8th. And then a 4-1 loss to Hendersonville on December 15th. As we go over their stats, Matthew Moore, the leading scorer. He's got 27 points from 12 goals and 15 assists. Trey Scram, 19 points from 7 goals and 12 assists. Abe Lasher, 15 points from 10 goals and 5 assists. Ethan Sides, 14 points from 7 goals and 7 assists. Duke Dalbert, 12 points from 9 goals and 3 assists. Andrew Freck, 8 points from a goal and 7 assists. James Lehrman, 7 points from 2 goals and 5 assists. Cortland Klett, 5 points from 3 goals and 2 assists. Ethan Moore, 5 points from 4 goals and an assist. Connor Mazzoni and Hunter Musser, each with 4 points from 2 goals and 2 assists. Lawson Brown and Hudson Higgins, each with 3 points from a goal and 2 assists. Henry Bork, Ben Eady, and Archer Reynolds all have 2 points from a goal and an assist. Locke Ross has a point from a goal. Moving on to goalie play, Trip Bland has played in 11 games. 11 of those were starts, so he started all 11 games. His record's 6-3-2. He's played 455 minutes, goals against average of 2.58, 1 shutout. He's allowed 28 goals on 220 shots, turned away the other 192. His save percentage in the regular season so far is .873. Parker Eves only got a few minutes in that Brentwood game back in November. He gave up 3 quick goals and they pulled him. So he only played 4 minutes. And that's it. Let's move on to Page Summit, coached by Greg Sowers. Are the officials out here? Yeah, they are, because we're getting to the end of the warm-up. So let's look over the results of their last 5 games. They're on a 7-game unbeaten run, dating back to November 10th when they beat Innsworth 5-1. November 17th, they beat the Rampage 9-5. December 1st, they beat Nolensville 4-2. December 8th, a 4-4 tie with Franklin. And then December 15th, they beat Mount Juliet 4-3. So let's look at their stats coming into tonight. Madden Chandler, the leading scorer, he's got 18 points from 8 goals and 10 assists. Braden Owens, 17 points from 4 goals and 13 assists. Hudson Halter, 16 points from 11 goals and 5 assists. Hunter Haley, 11 points from 6 goals and 5 assists. Aiden Meyer, 9 points from 4 goals and 5 assists. Aiden Garner, 6 points from 4 goals and 2 assists. Liam Garner, 6 points from 3 goals and 3 assists. Connolly Meeks, 5 points all from goals. Tyler Bell and Reeve Gable, each with 4 points from 2 goals and 2 assists. Elijah Selby, 3 points from assists. Landon Ellis, 2 points from assist. Jonah Ferguson has 2 points from a goal and an assist. Aiden Mills has a point from a goal, and Ryan Ellis has a point from an assist. Moving on to goalie play. Justin Yanuchili has played in 9 games. He's started 8 of those. His record's 6-1-1. He's played 369 minutes, goals against average of 2.50, no shutouts. He's allowed 22 goals and 204 shots, turned away the other 182. His save percentage in the regular season so far is .892. Brady Tessier has played in 3 games. All of those were starts. His record 1-1-1. He's played 90 minutes, goals against average of 6.07, no shutouts. He's allowed 13 goals and 54 shots, turned away the other 41. His save percentage in the regular season so far is .759. Justin Yanuchili going to start in goal for Page. I'm guessing Trip Bland going to start in goal for Montgomery Bell for this first period. NBA will carry the puck towards me. Page Summit will carry it away from me. I'm standing behind and to the right of the net that Page will defend for this first period. The benches side, which is to my right, is the near side. The bleacher side, which is to my left, is the far side. And Page Summit win the draw, bring it into the NBA zone, and a shot missed the net. Puck out at center. Now it's in the Page zone on the far side. NBA trying to get possession. Duke Dalba has it, tries to backhand it to the net. It hit the skate, the inside of the left skate of Ryan Ellis. Now Hunter Haley banking it off the near boards back into the NBA zone, but he was behind the red line, so it's an icing. And that stops the clock after 32 seconds. Again, we are on Rink B, not Rink A, as the game tracker says the games here were flipped. Draws to the right of Yanuchili. One by Page. And Aiden Garner trying to clear it out, and he does. Banks it off the far glass. Brought back in, though, Trace Graham. Right circle, a shot. Bottom of the right circle shot stopped by Yanuchili. Here's Andrew Freck now going around the back of the net, pushed into the boards. Elijah Shelby clearing it out up the near side and unable to keep it near the red line or near the blue line was Henry Burke, but they call icing. They still call icing for that clear. So they'll drop the puck to the right of Yanuchili again. Draw one by Page. It's out at center. Sent back into the Spartriot zone. And Elijah Shelby will clear it out. Oh, and a trip inside the NBA zone. Henry Burke got tripped from behind by Reeve Gable. And that's going to be the first penalty of the game. And Gable will head to the box. So NBA get the first power play of the game with 12:38 to go in the first. No goals on the board just yet. And if you're Page, you don't want to be giving NBA too many power plays. Draws to the right of Yanuchili again. One by the Big Red. At the left point with it, Abe Lasher. Lasher moving along the blue line towards the middle of the ice. Passes to the top of the right circle. Trace Graham, shot, score! Graham with the top of the right circle. Fires it through the legs of Yanuchili into the back of the net. It takes the Big Red just 14 seconds to convert the power play, and they're up 1-0 with 12:24 to go in the first. Big Red with a puck off the draw here. Now Page with it, and Ryan Ellis passing it across from the right wing. Couldn't connect with anybody. Puck still in the zone. Big Red trying to clear it out. Held in by Ellis with a shot in the blue line, and then to be kicked away by Bland with a left leg pad. Puck in the right wing corner. And the Big Red come up with it, and they'll bring it out to center. And then it was brought back into the NBA zone offside by Page. 11:32 to go in the first, 1-0. NBA leading. Draws on the dot in front of the bleachers across from the NBA bench. Page with it inside their own zone. Aiden Garner trying to back in and out on the far side. Kept alive by Matthew Moore. I think it was Matthew Moore. No, it was not Matthew Moore. It was Ethan Moore. Matthew is on the ice. Page finally cleared out, but it's brought right back in by Lasher, but then he fumbles it. Liam Garner wanted to get it out, could not. Lost it to Matthew Moore. Moore on the far side, trying to pass it up to the right point. Elijah Selby with it now. He'll bank it off the far boards, but it comes right to Moore. Now it's out in the middle of the ice and cleared out by Landon Ellis. He goes to the bench for a change. And an interception at center by Reeve Gable, but he turns it right back over to the Big Red, who dump it into the Page zone. Aiden Gardner knocked into the boards by Abe Lasher. And Puck went out to center and was brought back in offside by NBA. Lasher, I think it was Lasher who hadn't cleared the zone, and it was brought in by Andrew Freck. 10:20 to go in the first. NBA up 1-0. Draw on the dot in front of the bleachers across from the Page bench. Won by NBA. Sent into the Page zone. Trace Graham had it bottom of the left circle, but lost it on a poke from Aiden Garner. And then Garner knocks down Ethan Sides, and he's going to go to the box for roughing. On the near side of the left half wall, Garner knocking down Sides, and they're going to send him to the box for it. So NBA back on the power play up 1-0 with 10:01 to go in the first. And again, Page don't need to be giving too many opportunities for this NBA team. Page win the draw. Ryan Ellis tried to clear it out, kept alive at the left point by Abe Lasher. Now the puck in the left wing corner. Now Ethan Moore trying to bank it off the inboards. And Jonah Ferguson trying to clear it out on the far side, and it is poked out by Braden Owen. It's in the NBA zone, Big Red with it. Trace Graham brings it back into the Page zone on the left wing side, tries to backhand it up, and Ethan Moore with a shot that hit the left leg or right shin of Hunter Haley. Jonah Ferguson will clear it out. Matthew Moore gets to it in his own inboards. Carrying it through the near side at center. Back into the Page zone on the left wing. Goes to the front of the net and score! He goes to the front of the net, and I think it may have gone in off of Jonah Ferguson. It would have gone across the crease. If that hadn't happened, I think it either went in off of Ferguson's skate blade or off of the inside of Yanu Gili's left leg. No matter, it's 2-0. Another power play goal for NBA. They're up 2-0 with 9:05 to go in the first. Page won the draw, took it into the NBA zone. It's taken away from Tyler Bell. Now it's back in the Page end. Here's Elijah Selby. Fires it off the far boards and out of the zone. But Ethan Moore sends it back in. It hit the skate of the linesman, so that caused it to go in slowly, and Elijah Selby able to get to it and clear it out. Now it's back in the Page zone again. Cleared out this time by Colin Breedlove. Now it's brought back into the NBA zone by Aiden Meyer. Put out in front. Reeve Gable couldn't get the shot off. Actually, no, he did, and it was saved by Bland. Puck comes up to the right point. Breedlove. Shot hit a stick and went into the left wing corner. And NBA cleared out. This will be an icing against the Big Red. Nope, they say it was tipped on the way down. Icing waved off. Puck comes out to the top of the left circle, and a one-timer gloved and held on to by Yanu Chile. That shot came from Andrew Freck. 7:55 to go in the first. 2-0 NBA. Draws to the right of Yanu Chile. And Page win the draw, bring it out to center. Aiden Garner, dumps it into the NBA zone. He's behind the red line, so another icing against the Spartriots. Draws Deanna Chile's right. One by Page, brought out to center, sent back into the NBA zone. Is it going to be another icing? No. Puck cleared out by the Big Red. Trace Graham to center. Had the puck knocked off his stick by Hudson Halters. Brought back in. Graham, left wing side. Takes a shot, gloved and held onto by Yanu Chile. 7:20 to go in the first, still 2-0 NBA. Draw will be to Yanuchili's right again. There's been a single face-off to his left so far in this first period. It's won by NBA. Puck in the left wing corner. Now behind the net, Matthew Moore pushing it around. Battling with Ryan Ellis. Now it comes out to the right wing corner. Now Matthew Moore kicking it back towards the left wing corner. Now he drops it behind the net for Ethan Moore, but it's stolen by Jonah Ferguson. Trying to clear it out up the near side. It's held in at the left point. Now it's on the far side. Jonah Ferguson banging it off the glass, trying to get it out, and he does. It just went out over the blue line, brought back in by Abe Lasher on the right wing. Moves to the middle of the ice. Backhands it over to the right circle. Ethan Moore passing it off. Duke Dalba. A couple of shots stopped by Yanuchili, sticking out the right leg pad. Two big saves there. Now it's back in the NBA zone. Hunter Haley on the far boards. Pushed off and the puck cleared down ice by NBA. This will be the first icing against them in this one. 6:09 to go in the first. Still 2-0 Big Red. Draws to the right of Trip Bland. Won by Page, but then immediately stolen by NBA. 3-on-1, maybe. Here's a shot in the right circle. Stop by Yanuchili. Rebound! Oh! I think it may have grazed the post. Both of those shots came from Hunter Musser. His rebound try, I think, may have hit the post and went across the front of the net. NBA dominating Page here in the early going. Oh, and Yanuchili making a mistake just about as he was trying to corral a puck that went past him off the boards and then came back to the left-hand side of his net. I think he wanted to cover but could not. Puck out at center. Both sides making a few changes. Brought back in by Henry Burke on the right wing and sent to the inboards by Ethan Sides, picked up by Aiden Garner. He'll carry it out to center. Left wing side of the NBA zone. Tries to back it out in front for Reeve Gable. That was smacked away by an NBA stick. Tyler Bell is poked away inside his own zone. Andrew Freck up. Couldn't hang on to it. Cleared out by Aiden Garner. NBA with it at center again. Sent back into the Page zone, and Jonah Ferguson's going to end up icing it from his right wing half wall. 4:38 to go in the first. 2-0 NBA. Draw is to the left of Yanuchili. First draw to his left. Puck is behind the net. Sent around to the far side. Tyler Bell trying to clear. It's held in at the right point. Ryan Ellis clears it out. It's knocked right back in, though, by Ethan Sides. And Ellis with a big hit on Sides above the left wing corners. They both went for the puck. Andrew Freck with a shot that would have missed the net to the right of Yanuchili, but he deflects it up in the air with his stick and catches it. 4:03 to go in the first. Still 2-0 NBA. Roddy Yanuchili's right again. Won by the Big Red, and a little backhander from Ethan Moore, stopped and covered up at the right-hand side of the net by Yanuchili, so they'll drop it to his right again. NBA with it. Shot from the center point and was deflected past the net to the right of Yanu Chile. Here's Jonah Ferguson. Passing it over to Ryan Ellis. Ellis clears it out to center. It's back in the NBA zone on the far side and immediately cleared out by the Big Red. Back in the page end. Jonah Ferguson backhands it out. Braden Owen could not track it down at center. NBA get the puck back into the page zone, but it's cleared out again by Jonah Ferguson. Here's Hunter Haley. Went into the NBA zone and the puck poked away by Cortland Klett. Now Aiden Garner at the right point with a shot. Stopped and covered up by Trip Bland at his left-hand post. 2:40 to go in the first 2-0 NBA, and the ice has been just about completely tilted to the Big Red here in this first period. That was only the fourth shot on goal for Page. NBA have got 10. Draws to the left of Bland. One by the Big Red. Puck sent around the boards to the far side. Elijah Selby tried to hold it in, but it was taken away. Here's Andrew Freck. Right wing side of the Page zone. Tried to drop it back to Hunter Musser. Elijah Selby getting in there, forcing a turnover, and it's cleared out by Camden Mullen. Puck back in the NBA zone. And the puck cleared out. Now it's brought back into the Page zone, but unable to keep his stick on it was Lawson Brown. He could have had a breakaway if he controlled it. Musser puts it out in front, but nobody in a black sweater there, so Page take it. Send it back into the NBA zone. Page will make a few changes. The puck back in the NBA zone, cleared out again. Trickling down the far side into the Page zone. Now the puck is back in the Page zone again. Elijah Selby on the near side. Banks it off the boards and out. Dump back in, but Trace Graham has to get back on side. Ethan Sides dumped it in. Ryan Ellis behind his own net. Passes up the near side. 1 minute left in the first. Aiden Meyer up. Could not get around the last NBA defender. That was Connor Mazzoni. And now NBA take the puck, try and carry it out of the zone. Spartriot's keeping it alive on the far side. And a backhanded pass attempt intercepted by NBA. And now here's Trace Graham back in the Page zone. Left wing side, a shot hit the skates of Ryan Ellis, went past the net. And then it came back out in front. And Ethan Sides got off a shot that was stopped by Yanu Chile, but he backed into the net and dislodged it. Slightly dislodged it, and then after the side shot, he backed into the net completely and knocked it out of its moorings. Exactly 30 seconds to go in the first. 2-0 NBA draws to the right of Justin Yanuchili. NBA with it. They turn it over to Page. Here is Hunter Haley out to center on the far side, trying to dump it into the NBA zone that was broken up. Now Matthew Moore pushed into the boards. Behind the Page net, big battle for the puck. Trying to dig it loose before time runs out, but time is going to run out. 2 early power play goals for NBA. 1 for Trace Graham, 1 for Matthew Moore. And they have the Big Red up 2-0. Over Page Summit at the end of 1. I'll be back in a few seconds for the start of the second period, but if you are listening on the YouTube podcast, we're going to go ahead and jump to the start of the second period. Ready to start the second period. Justin Yanuchili still in goal for Page. Trip Bland still in goal for NBA for this second period. Page will carry the puck towards me. NBA will carry it away from me. As the second period is underway. Ethan Moore flipping the puck into the Page zone. It's behind the net. Matthew Moore tried to put it out in front for Duke Dalba, but that was broken up. Good thing, too, because Dalba might have made it 3-0. Both of NBA's goals on the power play. Oh, and looking for an even strength one as Duke Dalba has another cross-ice pass attempt go past him. Now the puck brought back into the NBA zone. Behind the net, Braden Owen. Knocked into the left wing corner boards by Louis Jalovic. Matthew Moore tried to clear it out, held in at the left point by Colin Breedlove. Hudson Alters banging it off the near boards to the space behind the net for Hunter Haley. Now Owen jumps in there, tries to pass it up the left wing side, intercepted by the Big Red, and Jalovic will clear it out up the far side. Back into the Page zone for an icing. It was just behind. And that took the first minute of the second off the clock. 13 minutes to go in the middle frame, 2-0 NBA. Draw is going to be to the left of Trip Bland. Won by NBA. Andrew Freck whipping it around the kick plate to the far side. Lawson Brown trying to clear it out. Here's Trace Graham out at center. Now here is, back the other way, went Ethan Sides trying to centering pass to Graham. It missed him as they were going towards the Page net. But they say that Graham got off a shot that was stopped by Justin Yanuchili. Now Andrew Freck brings the puck back into the Page zone. Tries to put it out in front. Held into the blue line by Henry Burke, but then Page take it away and clear it out. It's back in the NBA zone. Cleared out immediately by Henry Burke. Passed it up the far side. Taken away by Page. Sent back into the NBA zone. Here's Burke. Banked it off the inboards to the near side. Lawson Brown. Cleared out with some help from Andrew Freck. No, he did not clear it out. It's held in. And here's Aiden Meyer with a shot in the left circle, bottom of the left circle. Kicked away by Trip Bland. The best chance that Page have had so far in this game. Back the other way goes Trace Graham. Pass across Andrew Freck. He whiffed on it near the left-hand side of the Page net. Here come Page again. Aiden Meyer at center. Brings the puck back into the NBA zone, but offside. I think Tyler Bell went over the blue line before Meyer brought the puck in. 11:31 to go in the second. Still 2-0 NBA. Draws in the dot in front of the Page bench. One by NBA, dumped into the Page zone. To the far side, Spartriets will bring it out. Trying to get a pass ahead to Tyler Bell that was intercepted. Actually smacked away, knocked away by Hudson Higgins. That's back in the Page zone, cleared out. Connor Mazzoni passing it over to Higgins. Now they're inside the NBA end. Mazzoni passing it up the far side. Cleared out by Cortland Klett, but then it's taken back at center by Page. Jonah Ferguson, right wing side of the NBA zone shot, missed the net. To the left of Bland. Actually went behind the net. Now Conley Meeks in the left wing corner. Puck turned over to the Big Red, cleared out by Connor Mazzoni. Now here is James Lehrman. Pushed into the inboards inside the Page zone. And cleared out by the Spartriets. It's back in the NBA end. Abe Lasher with it. Passes across to Mazzoni. Passes up the far side to Matthew Moore. Puck back in the Page zone. Moore takes a hit at the inboards in the left wing corner, I think from Ryan Ellis. Moore brings the puck out to the right wing side. It was out in front and he fumbled it. Kept alive by Louis Jalovic. Now the puck coming around to the near side. And it was poked out. Here's Hunter Haley, left wing side of the NBA zone. Pass the slot shot, Braden Owen, score! Oh, a big turnover by NBA. Owen with a shot that goes just inside the netting on the right-hand side of the net and out. But it went over the goal line, and Pager on the board. It's 2-1 NBA with 9:39 to go in the second. So the Spartriots finally get another really good scoring chance, and they cash in. Draw one by Page. Aiden Garner with it inside his own zone, passing to the near side. Now Andrew Freck backhands it back into the Page zone from center. Sent towards the NBA blue line, sent back the other way by the Big Red. Now here's Hunter Haley, right wing side of the NBA zone, going down the boards. Puck in the right wing corner. He gets it. Puts it behind the net to Braden Owen. Pushed into the boards by Lawson Brown. Henry Burke jumping in there, and he gets the puck. Passes it up the near side to Andrew Freck, and then Freck has it poked away at center. Sent back towards the NBA blue line, then sent the other way by Lawson Brown. Now the puck will be brought to center by Aiden Garner. Now he's in the NBA zone on the left wing side. Could not get around Lawson Brown. Puck sent back the other way by the Big Red. It's an icing. Yes, it is. 8:10 to go in the second. 2-1 NBA. As Page, they've kind of tilted the ice their way early on in this second period. They've only allowed one NBA shot so far. Meanwhile, they've got two shots here in the second. Draws to the right of Trip Bland. One by Page, and a shot from the center point. Took a deflection, went towards the front of the net. Cleared away before it could get to Trip Bland. Puck back in the Page zone. Elijah Selby with it for the Spartriots. Pass it to the near side, but it's stolen away, I think, by Hunter Muster, who got knocked down. Puck put out in front. Matthew Moore can't get a stick on it. And back the other way come Page. Aiden Meyer brings the puck into the NBA zone. Leaves it for Camden Mullen, whose shot went off of two NBA skates and went across the front of the net. One of those skates was Hudson Higgins. Nathan Baldwin, it's up. I think they're calling a hand pass against Nathan Baldwin. He clutched the puck and then dropped it. They blow the whistle for that. 7:23 to go in the second. 2-1 NBA. Draw's going to be on the dot in front of the Page bench. Page win the draw, get it into the NBA zone, but it's immediately cleared out by Louis Jalovic. He ends up icing it, in fact. Icing it down the far side. Draw is going to be to Bland's right. Page win it. Puck in the right wing corner. Liam Garner with it. But Jalovic pokes it away. Garner gets it back. Trying to find space. Turned over to Abe Lasher. Lasher backhands it out off the far boards. Now Lasher catches up to it, left wing side of the Page zone, gets off a shot. Stopped and covered up by Yanu Chile at his right-hand post. Draws to the right of Yanu Chile. Put out in front, and a one-timer from Andrew Freck, stopped by Yanu Chile. Put out in front from the left wing corner boards. And then Yanu Chile ends up backing into the net and dislodging it. 6:35 to go in the second, 2-1 NBA. That was their first really good chance in a bit. And they're saying NBA caused that net to come off, so they're going to drop the puck at center in front of the bleachers across from the big red bench. Won by NBA, dumped into the Page zone. Spartriots tried to clear it out. It was held in. Puck in the left wing corner. And brought to center by Page. Hunter Haley into the NBA zone on the right wing side. Gets around Henry Burke, but then Burke wouldn't let him cut to the front of the net. He gets off a backhander that hit the outside of the left-hand post, and the rebound is iced by NBA. So Henry Burke playing good on the back check there to keep Hunter Haley from trying to cut to the front of the net. Draw is going to be to the right of Bland. Won by NBA, and Ethan Moore will clear it out on the near side. Puck back in the Page zone. Would have been an icing, but Aiden Garner able to get to it. And he and Duke Dalba fall over, tussling for it. Puck now on the near side. It's behind the Page net. Put out in front of one-timer over the net from the bottom of the left circle. That was Dalba. Puck behind the net again. It's out on the near side. There's Ethan Moore shooting in the top of the right circle, blockered away by Yanu Chile. Now the puck goes back towards the NBA blue line, sent the other way by Henry Burke. Right wing side of the Page zone, trying to drive it back. One time for Matthew Moore, missed the net to the right of Yanu Chile. Now the puck comes to the left-hand side of the net, and Yanu Chile knocked it down with his glove. It went off a couple of stick blades. Now back the other way comes Braden Owen, weaving around defenders, gets to the front of the net, shot, stop, rebound, score! Owen carried it all the way down the right wing side, cut to the front of the net, got off a backhander that was stopped by Bland. Got the rebound in the bottom of the left circle, fires it through his legs into the back of the net, and it's 2-2 with 4:37 to go in the second. Owen's got both of Page's goals. Draw one by Page, dumped into the NBA zone. Puck is behind the net. It's on the far side. Ethan Sides will clear it out. Actually shot it into the bleachers. Or may have touched the netting above the glass. Man alive, what a second for Page. I mean, the NBA dominated that first. They flat out dominated that first. And Page have just turned it around in this second. Draw to the left of Bland. Looked like it was won by Page, but turned over to NBA. Here's Trace Graham, left wing side of the Page zone. A shot, score! They get the lead right back. A shot that looked like it may have gone off the glove of Yanuchili into the bottom left-hand corner of the net. Graham with his second goal of the game, and NBA back in front 3-2 with 4:10 to go in the second. So Page did all that work, but then Trace Graham decided to flip the chessboard around again. Puck back in the Page zone. That was 27 seconds from Owen's tying goal to the go-ahead by Graham. 27 seconds. Matthew Moore can't get the stick on his puck on his stick as it's cleared out by Page back into the NBA zone. Abe Lasher with it now for the Big Red. Brought it out, kind of lost it for a second, able to gather it back in. Now he brings it back into the Page zone. Put out in front, and a shot from Dalba misses. Misses to the left of Yanuchili. Big Red's top line trying to keep it alive. Matthew Moore knocked into the right wing corner boards. Puck comes up to the right point, and Lasher passes across. Henry Burke shot in the left circle, blocked. And the Sparks gets clear. And it's rolling at its edge towards the NBA goal line, but it's caught up to by Lasher, so icing waved off. Now Lasher brings the puck back into the Page zone on the left wing side. Odd angle shot turned away by Yanuchili with the right leg pad. And we get a whistle. Offside against NBA, I'm not sure. I think Matthew Moore's stick was stuck. No, it was a Page stick stuck in the little seam in the blade of it anyway, stuck in the seam in the right wing corner boards. One of the linesmen returning it to the Page bench. Draw was at center. I'm still not sure what that whistle was for as the puck ends up being cleared out of play on the far side inside the Page zone. I think it was a Page player who did that. It was Aiden Garner, I think. Draw's going to be to Yanuchili's right. Oh, no. I thought they pulled Jan. I thought I was seeing a 29 for a second. Elijah Selby lining up right in front of Yanuchili. I thought that they pulled Yanuchili for Brady Tessier for a second. They have not. I was seeing Elijah Selby's number. Puck back in the NBA zone, cleared out by Ethan Moore. And Page ended up icing it from behind the red line. I think it was Elijah Selby. 2:08 to go in the second, 3-2 NBA. Draw's going to be Yanuchili's right again. One by the Big Red. Shot in the left point, and Burke turned away by Yanuchili. Puck comes around on the near side. Page with it. They'll bring it to center. And it's turned back over to the Big Red. Trace Graham lost it inside his own zone. Inside the Page zone. Cleared out. And we get a whistle for what? Well, it's not a penalty. You know, it's kind of hard doing this by yourself when you don't have a spotter. They're dropping the puck right at center, so I'm not sure what it was. Again, I apologize. I don't have a spotter who could tell me what the referee was blowing the whistle for. Duke Daba, left wing side of the Page zone. A shot stopped and covered up by Yanuchili. .93 seconds left in the second, 3-2 NBA. Draws to Yanuchili's right. One by Page, and it's out to center. Picked up by Hunter Haley. He's in the NBA zone of the slot. To the front of the net. Shot stopped by Bland with a right leg pad. Haley shook off his defender, got right to the front of the net, and denied by Bland. Big save late in this second as Matthew Moore ends up firing the puck into the netting above the glass on the near side. That was inside the NBA zone, so the draw is going to be to the right of Bland. Big Red with it. Puck sent around the boards to the far side. Right out to center by Matthew Moore. Now he's back in the Page zone. Minute left in the second. Last minute of the second. Lost the puck, and now back the other way comes Hudson Halters, right wing side of the NBA zone. Gets off a shot. It deflected, I think, off a skate boot and went over the net. Abe Lasher will clear it down ice. But it's immediately knocked down by Aiden Garner. Passes across to the far side. Braden inside of the NBA zone. Tried to pass across, went off the stick of Abe Lasher. Lasher now out at center. 30 seconds left of the period. Lasher, left wing side of the Page zone. A shot stopped by Yanu Chile. Puck cleared out by Page. That's still at center. Sent back into the Page zone. Puck in the left wing corner. Picked up by Trace Graham. And he turns it over, but Page couldn't clear it out. Held in by Graham. Gets off a shot in the left point. Steered away by Yanu Chile, and that's it for the second. Well, Braden Owens scored twice to tie the game up, but just 27 seconds after he equalized, Trace Graham with his second of the game to put Montgomery Bell up 3-2 on Page Summit at the end of two. I'll be back in a few seconds with the start of the third period, but if you're listening on the YouTube podcast, we'll go ahead and jump to the start of the final period. Ready for the start of the third and final period? Trip Bland still in goal for NBA. Justin Yanuchili still in goal for Page. For this third and final period, NBA will carry the puck towards me. Page Summit will carry it away from me. Third and final period underway, and Page won the draw, but they turn it over to NBA, and a shot from Andrew Freck. Oh! Missed the net to the right of Yanu Chile, then came off the boards and back out into the crease, but luckily for him, one of his teammates able to get to it and clear. That could have been a very bad goal for Page to give up. Now here's Trace Graham, bottom left circle, a shot stopped and held on to by Yanu Chile. So NBA able to get the puck back after that initial scare. Draw by Yanu Chile's right. Won by Page, but turned right over to NBA. Andrew Freck tried to turn and get off a backhanded shot with his back to the net. Went off a stick and over to the far side. Puck held in by Trace Graham. His shot, not very hard, comes right to Jonah Ferguson, who's able to clear. Hudson Halters now in the NBA zone with a shot from the slot that's turned away by Trip Bland. And finally, Page hit double-digit shots on goal as NBA end up icing the puck. 13:06 to go, 3-2, Big Red. Draws to Bland's right. Won by NBA. They get it around the boards to the near side and out. It's in the Page zone, picked up by Jonah Ferguson on the near side. Passes across to Colin Breedlove. Breedlove banks it off the far kick plate. Out to center, Hunter Haley, left wing side of the NBA zone. Haley could not get around Connor Mazzoni and get to the front of the net. Puck was cleared out for a second. Now it's back in the NBA zone. Matthew Moore with it for the Big Red. Clears it out. Picked up at center by Jonah Ferguson. Passed ahead to Hudson Halters off his stick. Knocks it over to, or deflects it over to Tyler Bell, and Bell brings it into the NBA zone and gets off a shot in the left circle that missed the net to the right of Bland. NBA with it at center again. Here's Ethan Moore with a shot in the right circle, blocked by Ryan Ellis on the back check. Great block by Ellis. Now Tyler Bell back in the NBA zone. Lost the puck, could not get around Abe Lasher, who was back checking. Here's Trace Graham back into the Page zone. Double teamed. Puck got away from him. Yanuchili wanted to cover. Graham came in to poke it away. He got hit, I think, by Ryan Ellis and wanted a penalty. Puck out at center. That's back in the Page zone, and the Spartans clear it out, but comes right to Abe Lasher, right at the blue line. He nudges it back in, up, offside. Offside, Hunter Musser was still in the zone. 11:24 to go, 3-2 NBA. Draws on the dot in front of the Page bench. They only had 4 players. Liam Garner had to come out onto the ice to make it 5 for this face-off. One by Page, flipped through the air by Aiden Garner. But only as far as center. That's back in the Page zone and cleared out by Elijah Selby. Here's Selby in his own zone, passing across to the near side, and Aiden Garner, who flips it ahead. Now Braden Owen, right wing side of the NBA zone, shot misses the net. I think it may have gone over, but Owen looking for a hat trick. So's Trace Graham. Here's Ethan Sides back into the Page zone, stopping at the top of the right circle, passing it off. Andrew Freck, shot turned away by Yanuchili. Now here is Liam Garner inside the NBA zone, shot from the center point, knocked away, blockered away by Bland. Now Abe Lasher back in the Page zone, trying to leave it for Lawson Brown. Brown back ends it down to the left wing corner for Lasher. Pushed into the boards by Selby. Lasher gets loose, puck at the inboards. But Aiden Meyer had his arm around Lasher, and he's going to go to the box for holding. And the last thing Page needed to do was give up another penalty. And NBA back on the power play, up 3-2 with 10:08 to go. They've been on the power play twice and scored both times. Draws to Yanuchili's right. Big Red with it. Matthew Moore shot off the stick of Braden Owen, who was standing right in front of him, into the netting above the glass. Moore getting off that shot from the left circle. Left face-off dot just about. Draw to Yanuchili's right again. One by NBA. Here's Lasher passing it off to Moore. Now Lasher at the blue line. Back to Moore, top of the left circle. Moore trying to send it to the slot off the stick of Dauba. Got Ethan Moore in front as well. Here's Matthew Moore at the left half wall. Passing to the center point, Lasher. Right circle, Graham tried to send it to the front of the net. Off the skate of Jonah Ferguson. Now Ethan Moore will flip it back to the near side, Matthew Moore. Ethan Moore behind the net. Ellis trying to clear, hit the skate, hit the right skate of Matthew Moore, stays in the zone. Moore at the left half wall, passing to the center point, Lasher. Top of the right circle, Graham. Across to the top of the left circle, and Moore. Now Lasher, back to Moore. Moore moving down the left wing, and the puck poked away by Ryan Ellis, gets it back. Gathers it back into the inboards, backhands it up to the right point, and Graham. Now Lasher, back across Moore, right circle. Oh, wow, what a weird sequence. He passed it across to the right-hand side of the net, and Ethan Moore, it popped up into the air, landed in the crease with Yanuchili out of position, and he's able to cover. What a lucky break for Page. That looked like it was going to go off Ethan Moore, pop up into the air, and land in the net. Instead, it lands in the crease, and Yannucili able to cover. 56 seconds left in the power play. 9:04 to go in the game. Still 3-2 NBA. Draw to the left of Yannucili. It's won by the Big Red. Then taken away. Hudson Halters will bring it to center. And he'll clear it on goal in the NBA zone. Trip Bland having to keep it out of the net. Now here's Matthew Moore back into the Page zone on the right wing side. Under 30 seconds left in the power play for the Big Red. Passes it out to the left point. Abe Lasher. Pass across to the right point. Trace Graham back across. Moore shakes his one-timer in the left circle. Missed the net to the right of Yannucili. Now here's Duke Dalba in the left circle. Now Moore passing it back out to the blue line. Lasher. Now back to Graham. Top of the right circle. A shot. Kicked away by Yannucili with a right leg pad. And then the rebound came out to the left circle, and Moore gets off a one-timer that Yannucili stops and covers. 6 seconds left in the power play. 8:15 to go in the game. Still 3-2 NBA. Draws to Yannucili's right. One by the Big Red. Cortland Klett with a backhander. Stopped by Yannucili. You thought he had it in his possession, but it was knocked loose. Penalty time against Page is up. They're back at even strength. That's a big kill for the Spartriots. Puck at center. And Aiden Meyer, Henry Burke gave the puck to Aiden Meyer, but he must have had a teammate still in the zone because they called offside. Draws on the dot in front of the NBA bench. Big Red sending it towards the Page blue line. Puck brought back into the Page zone, taken away and brought out by the Spartriots. Now here's Andrew Freck dropping it back. Passed down the near side, but was intercepted for a moment by Landon Ellis. Now Ellis with it inside the NBA zone at the end boards, trying to back in and out in front. Nobody in a white sweater there. So back the other way come the Big Red. Here's Andrew Freck. Handing it off to Ethan Sides. Now back to Freck inside the Page zone. Got bumped off. Now Sides behind the net battling with Aiden Garner. Sides comes into the right wing corner. Pushed off the puck. Freck passes it up to the right point. Lawson Brown shot off the stick, I think, of Camden Mullen. Yeah, and into the netting above the glass. 6:41 to go. Still 3-2 NBA. Draw's going to be to the left of Yannucili. Ethan Moore with it, puts it out in front. It's out in front, jamming away, and it was Matthew Moore. Yannucili made a save, and the puck was cleared out. Now Braden Owen, left wing side of the NBA zone with a shot. Gloved and held on to by Trip Bland. Again, Owen has both of him, Page's goals. Draws to Bland's right. He dropped the puck, but the referee in the right wing corner, I think he thought the left wingers were a little too close to the face-off takers, so they made them drop it again. And with it at center for NBA is Ethan Moore. He'll dump it into the Page zone and go for a change. Here's Elijah Selby to center. Pushed into the far side boards by Matthew Moore. NBA get the puck out of their zone. It's back in the Page end. Aiden Garner behind his own net. Garner skates out to the far side boards and now fires it to center. And it comes to Braden Owen, left wing side of the NBA zone. A shot missed the net to the right of Trip Bland. Oh, that was almost brilliant. That almost paid off. Now the puck brought back into the NBA, page zone, and Cortland Klett with a backhander in front that stopped and covered up by Yanuchili. 5:24 to go, still 3-2 NBA. Draw by Yanuchili's left. Won by NBA, and a shot from Andrew Freck had to be kicked away by Yanuchili with a toe of his left pad or right pad. Shot came from just about the top of the left circle. Puck brought back into the NBA boards. Now back the other way come the Big Red. Trace Graham, left wing side of the page zone, backhands it across the front of the net. Ethan Sides couldn't get to it. Here's Lasher carrying it down the right wing boards. Gets pumped off. Now he has the puck again. He's in the right circle. Pass in front. Oh, past the slot, but Sides couldn't get a stick on it. Puck in the left wing corner. Now back the other way goes Ryan Ellis. Ellis backhanding it into the NBA zone. Will catch up to it on the right wing side. Backhanded it around Louis Jalovic. Now the puck comes around to the far side. Cleared out. And now here's a breakaway and a shot stopped by Yanuchili. Duke Dalba ended up with a breakaway. And he shot it from halfway down the slot. Yanuchili knocking it away with a left leg pad. Now here's Braden Owen, right wing side of the NBA zone. Puts it in front, but Hudson Alters can't get a stick on it. Now the puck rolling at its edge towards the Page net. Yanuchili stops it and hands it off to Selby, Elijah Selby. Across to Aiden Garner. Garner trying to fire it up the near side. Knocked down by Duke Dalba. And he goes offside as Ethan Moore could not get out of the zone in time. 3:48 to go, still 3-2 NBA. Draws in front of the bleachers, across from the Page bench. And the Page zone immediately cleared out by the Spartriots. Now here's Braden Owen back in the NBA zone. Gets up a shot in the left circle. Missed the net. Oh, they're applauding. So Bland got a piece of it as it went past the net to his left. And Liam Garner flipping it through the air to center. Here's Hudson Alters in the NBA zone. Had the puck poked away. Back the other way comes Dalba. Gets around a defender to the net. A shot stopped by Yanuchili. And Ethan Moore standing on the right-hand side of the net. Couldn't get the rebound. Here's Braden Owen back to center. Owen into the NBA zone. Round a defender trying to get to the front of the net. Lost the puck. Oh, he got up to it. Caught up to it. Got off a backhander that's stopped by Bland. And we get a whistle because the NBA net became dislodged. 2:57 to go. Still 3-2 Big Red. Page's 7-game unbeaten streak on the line here. Draws to the right of Bland. Won by NBA. They get it around and out. Now here's Aiden Garner firing it back in the zone from the red line. Here's Aiden Meyer trying to pass it off to Liam Garner, but stolen away by NBA. Here is Trace Graham. Back in the Page zone, of the puck poked off his stick, and he went in ahead of Ethan Sides, who brought it in. So offside. Draw be on the dot in front of the Page bench. Won by the Big Red. Duke Dalba brings it into the Page zone, a shot in the left dot. Stopped and held onto by Yanuchili. NBA score another goal. This one's probably over. Draws to Yannichili's right. Page win the draw. Liam Garner brings it into the NBA zone on the left wing side. Is it taken away and cleared out? Caught up to inside the Page zone by Jonah Ferguson. Ferguson out to center on the near side. Banks it off the near boards. Back into the NBA end, but it's an icing. It was just behind the red line. 2:02 to go. Still 3-2 NBA. Draw is going to be to Yannichili's right again. How many of these have been to his right? And NBA are going to use their timeout. So 2:02 to go, 3-2 NBA. Big Red using their timeout. You think it'd be Page since they're the ones trailing. Shots on goal on the board read 33-14. I think they're shorting Page one because Bland made a save early on in this third with a blocker on a rising shot, and they never put it up on the board. I think NBA might be shorted a couple as well. But, man, Justin Yannichili has just been terrific since those first 5 minutes when he gave up those 2 power play goals. So Page done with a timeout. And NBA finish their portion of the timeout. Draw is going to be to Yannichili's right. You wonder if Page don't take this down the ice and score. You wonder when they pull Yannichili. Draw won by the Spartriots. Here's Aiden Garner. Firing it down the far side to center. That's back in the Page zone. Duke Dalba poking it back in. It's behind the net, picked up by Garner. Passes over to the far side. Nellis back across Garner. Garner slowly making his way towards the blue line. Sends it out to center. Intercepted and dumped back in by Moore, Ethan Moore, who was just behind the red line. So 93 seconds left. Draw's going to be to the right of Trip Bland. Yannichili staying in his crease for the moment. And now Page are going to use their timeout. So both timeouts have been used. And you wonder if the Page net will be empty when this timeout is done. We'll watch Yannichili. And, yep, Brady Tessier's opening the door for him, so Page will have the net empty for this draw inside the NBA zone. Let's see. NBA with a win would move to 7-3-2. They'd both be 7-3-2 after this game. Both teams would be 7-3-2 if this score up holds. If Page can't find an equalizer in the next 93 seconds. Timeout done. Everybody except Justin Yannichili Heading back out onto the ice again, the draw to the right of Bland. It is won by NBA. Abe Lasher passing it ahead. Oh, and Page kept it inside the zone. Here's Braden Owen passing across to the left wing. And Aiden Gardner keeping a clearing attempt alive at the left point now. Sending it around the kick plate. And NBA ended up clearing it down ice for an icing with 69 seconds to go. Again, both teams have used their timeout. Draw is going to be to the left of Bland. Won by Page. Puck out in front. Banging away, and it's cleared away. Final minute of the game. Ryan Ellis, right wing boards. Now Braden Owen, right point. Turn the puck over, it's cleared out. And Trace Graham misses the net. Misses the empty net from the red line. And they call icing because he was just behind it. 45.1 seconds left. It hit off the outside of the bottom right corner. Draw be to Bland's left. Won by Page, and a shot from Hudson Halters. Missed the net. Puck out at center. Ryan Ellis sending it back into the NBA zone. Big Red clear it out. It's back in the Page end. 30 seconds left. Aiden Garner. Garner to center. Back into the NBA zone. He's taking them all on. Shot in the right circle over the net. Wow. That would have been amazing if he'd been able to score. Braden Owen, left wing corner. 10 seconds left. Puck stays in the zone at the left point. Passed out to the blue line. Ryan Ellis shot blocked. And they blow the whistle. Did it just go out of the zone? Are they calling offside? 2.2 seconds left. They're calling a hand pass against the... Oh, it's a penalty against NBA. James Lehrman. I'm not sure what they called him for, but Page will be on the power play. There's nobody in the box. Draw to the right of Bland. They tie up for it, and that's it. NBA hang on and win 3-2. And Page Summit's 7-game unbeaten streak is over. And both teams are now 7-3-2. Wow. It's a heartbreaker for Page because they did all that work to come back only for Trace Graham to score the game winner 27 seconds after Braden Owen scored the equalizer. So the goals in this one, both Page goals were scored by Braden Owen. And for NBA, 2 goals for Matthew Moore. Trace Graham is our player of the game because his second goal was the winner. As NBA win this one 3-2. All right, so let's look at what's still ahead tonight. Again, both teams are now 7-3-2 after this result. So let's look at what's still to come. This evening, coming up at 6:30 here on Rink B. Again, it's Rink B, not Rink A. They flipped the games for tonight. Station Camp Liberty Creek Nashville Christian taking on JP2 MLK GCS. Again, if Station Camp win that game, JP2 and Indy are out of contention for the GNASH Cup regular season championship. Also at 6:30 down in Bellevue at the Terry Crisbrink, Father Ryan taking on the Outlaws. If the Outlaws lose that game and then Ensworth beat Indy, the Outlaws will be heading to the Hein Cup. 7 p.m. in Clarksville, Hendersonville beats Lawson taking on the Kings. It is senior night for Clarksville. Again, they've only got 2 seniors, so it'll be a quick ceremony. 7:40 over on Rink A. Franklin taking on Ravenwood. That's our next game this evening. We'll be back in the air at 7:35 for that one. And then 2 8:15 games here on Rink B at Centennial. Mount Juliet taking on the Rampage. And on the Chris Spring and Bellevue, Independent Centennial taking on Innsworth Lipscomb CPA. All right. Before we wrap up this one, got some on-air shout-outs to give. On-air shout-outs to Bree and Hayden Bland, Trip Bland's parents, and his grandfather, Glenn Bland, who purchased a Buy Me a Coffee membership yesterday. And Trace Graham's parents, Don and Stacy Graham, they purchased the package of perks, our Buy Me a Coffee membership, that has them listed in our almost daily GNASH newsletter. They're getting this on-air shout-out for any and all NBA games I cover, and they're going to get this and any all NBA games I cover as downloadable MP3s. And Bree and Hayden and Glenn, I owe you the Franklin game from a couple months ago because Tripp was really good in that one. And I also owe you the Father Ryan game, but I don't know if you want to listen back to that one. Anyway, so if you want a Buy Me a Coffee membership, go to our Buy Me a Coffee page, BUYMEACOFFE.com/Mid10Sportsnet, MIDTNSPORTSNET. Again, BUYMEACOFFE.com/Mid10Sportsnet, MIDTNSPORTSNET. Scroll down to become a member. We've got 2 packages. If you just want your name listed in the newsletter, well, we're having an end of regular season blowout. I've taken, I brought down the prices, the yearly prices, another 40% to 60% off the original prices. The newsletter listing was originally $50 a year. It's now $20. Yes, now $20. And the package of perks was initially $100. I brought it down to $80 at the halfway point. Now I brought it down to $40. So get in on that before the end of the regular season. Again, BUYMEACOFFE.com/MIDTNSPORTSNET. And scroll down to become a member. And you can purchase that. Or you can do a monthly payment. $5 a month for the newsletter shout out, $10 a month for the package of perks. All right. Well, that was decent. I wouldn't call it. I don't know. I don't, the top 10 end of calendar year GNASH broadcast, I don't think this will make it. I mean, it was a good game, but I don't know if it'll make it. All right. That is it for now. Again, we'll be back in the air at 7:35 for Franklin and Ravenwood. Again, the final score, Montgomery Bell 3, Page Summit 2. Both teams now 7-3-2. Again, we're back at 7:35 for Franklin and Ravenwood. Bye for now from Centennial.